we would sit together pretty much every morning or every evening, either making something or having coffee, and she would tell me family story after family story. And so I know all of these stories because she was always telling them, either when I was helping her make something in the kitchen or dolma, or like helping her to fold grape leaves, or, you know, mixing hummus or making pilav. She was always telling stories. That was kind of her, that was her like joie de vivre. My grandmother was born in Aleppo, Syria. She was the first child of 4 of her mother Surpuhi Torosyan and Magardich Torosyan. And she was the first generation born in Aleppo of genocide orphans and or survivors. So she was born in September of 1926. So this was about 9 to 10 years after her parents had reached Aleppo as refugees. So she worked as a seamstress, and she also trained as a teacher. When she was in high school, she had to choose between going to the American high school or the French high school. She was very good at French, but her oldest aunt, so Serpuhi's oldest sister, who had been the one working while her sisters were in the orphanage, had since moved to the United States. And so my grandmother kind of always had in mind that one day she would want to go to the United States, so she chose to go to the American high school. So she spoke English very well. And after she graduated, she became a teacher, and an elementary school teacher. And she ended up coming to the United States because she was boycotting the low payment that she and her other colleagues had. And so they had all decided that they were going to strike together and refuse to go to work. And September came along, and the kids are going to school. And she realizes that, the principal hasn't called her to go back to work. And then she found out that the two other teachers that she had made this pact with decided to go back for the same pay. And so that was kind of her last straw, and she decided, okay, I want to go and stay with my aunt in the United States. And so, she took the journey by herself in 1947, or 1946 or 1947, and she arrived in New York like that. I feel very much a part of and a product of all of the stories that I've been told as a child about my family and our history, how they migrated to different places, how they survived. But I think for me, I'm a product of all of the different experiences that I've had and people that I've met in all of the different places that I've lived. So I can't quite identify with any whole part of being Armenian, because also I don't quite know what that means to be fully anything. But I would say it's more a mix of all of the different experiences that you kind of pick up along the way with all of the different people that you talk to. And where you feel most at home is with those people with whom you share the same things to laugh and cry about. I think that's where I feel most at home.
Can you say anche then?
Anche. Totalmente.
More.
Totalmente, amore.
We share the same stories. The family shares the same stories. That's why with your sister, with your family, you have these stories, and nobody else knows these stories. They are connected together with these stories. Those stories that fill my heart.